Bonjour mon petit chauffeur, Amber here, and I'm actually trying something a little new this month with my reading. Usually I would just come to you at the end of the month and recap all of the books that I read with my books of the month. But this time I thought I would try vlogging as I read and giving you my thoughts as I go through the book. So to start, this is the book that I'm currently reading, and that is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I started this maybe a week ago, and first and foremost, the cover is absolutely gorgeous. Let's see if you can. So like I said, I just started it about a week ago, and I'm reading so slowly now. It hasn't even really been a week. 75 pages in, so I'm still in the initial thoughts stage, and I am really interested right now in the storyline. I'm trying not to give too much of the plot away. The story is about Scarlett. She has spent her whole life dreaming of going to Caraval, which is like this yearly production type thing on this mystery island. She and her sister finally get invites to go, and as of right now, she just got to the island with Julian, who is this like mysterious sailor. And that's where I'm at right now. I haven't really formed too many thoughts on the characters themselves yet. Well, not on Scarlett and Teller, her sister. Julian, like I said, is dark and mysterious, and yes, he is book boy material, but I don't trust him right now. So I'm curious to see if my suspicions are correct. So I haven't picked the book up yet today, but I forgot something I wanted to say yesterday when I was talking about the book. I do sort of want to give my predictions now. Like I was saying, I don't trust Julian. I feel like he knows a lot more about Caraval than he is saying, than he's letting on. I also feel like he has been maybe hired or contracted, I don't know, to get Scarlett and Tella to Caraval. I even somehow feel like it has to do with their mother, so we'll see. Alrighty, so I am now, sorry about the lighting by the way, I'm filming this on my phone. I am now on page 99. Caraval has officially started, and okay, I'm finding Scarlett very, very, very annoying. And I'm trying to get past that. I'm trying to like her, because a lot of the times I find it hard to read a book if I don't like the main character or the person whose point of view the story is told through. You okay over there? I'm just like, where's my girl Tella? Also, you're just y'all really just, Stephanie, you really just did my boy Julian dirty like that. That's, you know what? Okay. I don't trust him at all, and I'm sure this is part of his plan somehow, but okay. So it's afternoon, I'm about to go to bed, but I am on page 155, and there's a lot that I want to say, but I don't want to spoil anything. I have so many suspicions, so many thoughts. There's this scene that I just read where Scarlett gets her future read, and I'm like, oh, I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of speculations, and I'm going to cut this out because spoilers, but I just in case I'm right. The fortune teller basically was telling her about her future and the man she's supposed to marry, and what he told her, I'm like, what if he's actually referring to Julian? Am I being crazy? Because okay, so I know what you're thinking. Amber, you have not left that spot since you started reading this book. And you'd be wrong. I actually just got in from trying to see Black Panther. But as we were in line, every single showing of the movie sold out. So that was fun. But I'm going back tomorrow. That being said, I was able to get a lot of reading done on the bus. And I wanted to check in while I was reading this, but I didn't feel comfortable vlogging on the bus about a book, so I just put my bookmark in and waited until I got back here to pick up the camera. And I have a lot of thoughts, I have a lot of theories and speculations. I am 209 pages in, and I have so many thoughts about Legend. I have a lot of thoughts about Julian, and now there is Dante to contend with. This man. Okay, I want to say so many things, but like I feel like I'd be spoiling a lot. My man's Julian just swooped in, and I'm like, hello. And even though I have like a lot of conflicting thoughts about this book and the writing and the progression of the story and how I wish there was a little more actual action and that Scarlett wasn't afraid of absolutely everything, I feel like I am growing more and more attached to Julian, and that's dangerous. But like, high key, what if Julian is Legend and we find that out at the end? And I don't know what that has to do with Scarlett or Tella, but also my man's just throwing hands, and I'm just like, okay. I'm about to start reading again for the last time tonight. I am, like I said, I stopped reading on the bus because it was getting pretty intense. There's a fight breaking out, so I'm really glad to be back in the safety of privacy to feel all the feels. But like I said before, I am wishing that there was a tad bit more action in this book. Well, obviously there's action now, but a little over halfway through this book, and I feel like we're just moving in circles, but I'm not going to complain. I mean, I can't complain because this is the fastest I've read a book in ages, and I'm not saying it's going to last for very long, but when it happens, I take it and I run with it. Okay, so I was just about to come here and say that, okay, the romance part is starting, I guess, and while I waited for this and I knew it was gonna happen and I wanted it to happen, the way it happened was like weird and fast and like kind of disjointed. So I'm torn, like I'm excited, but like at the same time this happened weirdly, and I was just about to say that I wish this book was told also with Julian's point of view. And then I hit page 217 and this is all I can put out without spoiling things, but I'll just say at least one of my theories and speculations was correct. Okay, this has to be my last update of the night because I'm tired and I have to get up tomorrow. What was I gonna say? Oh, so my theory has crumbled, one of them, but it looks like one of my other theories might be true, and I might be starting to trust Julian. I'm stressed. I have a lot of thoughts, but I was just saying to my mom that I kind of really like reacting, this vlogging as I read, reacting to the book as I read. It makes the experience more fun. So I think this is going to be a permanent fixture on the channel. But yeah, like I said, I have to go to bed. It's like almost 2 o'clock. We have found out why this Caraval revolves around Donatella. That's that. It's hard to properly react to the book while also not giving away spoilers. Okay, so first things first, yes, you can hear the Kardashians in the background, but as you can see, I'm getting very, very close to finishing this book. I just put the flap in it so I could pop in and do this update. So much has happened. I am a little stressed out. I had to stop reading on the train so I wouldn't get too caught up because I don't know what's about to happen. There's some sort of like build up happening, It's like, it feels like Scarlett and Julian are at a crossroads where they're saying goodbye to each other, and I'm not here for it. I really hope this doesn't end before we get all the answers about Scarlett's dad, and also the Count, and also how, never mind. Also, question I never mentioned before, what is with the description that Scarlett seeing colors? Is that like an element of magic that is never explained? There were plot twists that I wasn't expecting. There was a bit right at the start of the end that I felt was a little messy, and a little rushed and messy, and could have been refined as a transition into the reveal of the entire plotline. Sort of all of my theories were correct, sort of, in some way, shape, or form. But also I was completely wrong. And yeah, I'm gonna come back with my final thoughts, but I am looking forward to the next book, which I don't think is out yet. I have it in my Amazon cart to pre-order. Okay, let's talk about Caraval. So like I said at the beginning of this video, every year there is this spectacle put on called Caraval, and every year for most of her life Scarlett has wanted to witness it. She and her sister Donatella have dreamt about going to Caraval and witnessing the magic. Scarlett has written Legend, who is like the head of Caraval, every year in hopes that he would send her tickets, and she finally receives her invitation. Only catch is that she is about to get married. It's an arranged marriage, and she is afraid of what will happen if she and her sister sneak off of the island that they live on and run off to Caraval. Their father is very abusive, and yeah, this book isn't quite at all finishing this book. I really liked it. I'm not 100% obsessed with it, but I really do like it, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. There was a lot of time that I spent wishing that it was a little more fast-paced, a little more action, but I kind of understood why it was written the way it was, or why things progressed the way they did as I finished it. I also spent a lot of it hoping that we saw more of Scarlett's relationship with Tella rather than being told about it. But from what I've gathered by looking at the synopsis of the sequel on Amazon, it looks like that one's going to be told through Donatella's point of view, so that's exciting. Also, something else I briefly mentioned while I was reading that I didn't understand was the way Scarlett, I guess, sees and feels emotions like through color, I guess. That doesn't make sense when I say it out loud, but like the way she describes how she's feeling, it's like she's seeing colors, and that's never explained as if that's like a magical thing or just her way of describing things. And I'm wondering if that's something that will be discussed further in the story. When I started reading this, I kept repeating that I didn't trust Julian, but at the same time he had potential for a book boyfriend. And honestly, I'm not entirely sure if I still feel that based on what we found out about who he actually is and his role in the story, which is a little disappointing because I did have some strong feelings for Julian. I think he was my favorite character in the book because it almost felt like he had the most depth to himself. That didn't make sense. As a character. I know Scarlett was the main character. I found her quite annoying. I understand why she was cautious and afraid of everything, but it was so annoying, and I was hoping that she would have had that like character development sooner in the story, where, you know, she was a lot braver, and that when it happened, a lot of turning points in the story, they felt very sudden. What was the last thing I wanted to say? Oh, one more thing about Julian while I'm here is that I did spend a lot of the book kind of wishing that there were parts maybe told through his point of view, as if maybe like if they were dueling points of view with the story writing, because like I said, he was more interesting to me than Scarlet and more interesting than Donatella, because she was just sort of like she wasn't really a character really in this book. It's just, I guess, a driving point for Scarlet. I think that's basically all I wanted to discuss for this book that I haven't already talked about while I was reading it. Like I said, I am curious to see where the story goes from here, so I will be pre-ordering Legendary soon. And now I can finally start reading the next book, which is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I'm really looking forward to this. I've been putting it off for so long, but I love John Green books, and I've heard a lot of good things about this. So also, this is a signed copy, so that's fun. Okay, so I was going to go straight into my vlogging and reviewing Turtles All the Way Down, but considering the fact that tomorrow is the last day of February, I'm going to end this video here and start next month's reading journey. I do want to say that I really liked doing this. I love this format. Personally, I like it a lot more than my books of the month, because for me it takes a lot of the pressure to read a bunch of books away, and I think that's part of my problem with reading lately. I feel pressured to read a bunch, and then I always feel let down and disappointed when I don't. So just reading as it happens, and just, I guess, it makes it more enjoyable. So anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like me, feel free to subscribe. All my places are down there, so you can follow me and I'll follow you back, and I'll see you very soon. Later, peaches.